Hi guys, Jesse Osmond here from jesseosmond.tk or jesseosmond.wordpress.com, wherever you found me. I know in my last post I was talking a little bit about how you promote yourself as an NGO and how you basically get your name out there. And obviously one of many things is a web presence. Either people are using Facebook, Twitter, I've seen people use Tumblr. And I wanted to look into web options and just sort of show you some of the things that people can do to create a web presence. Not just a website, but actually a full web presence. I'll get into that a little bit more. What you're looking at right here is the Mvoti AIDS Center website, which I actually helped design. Now the little secret is it looks like, oh wow, great. You know, you designed all this thing. I can tell you that I basically did this via WordPress.com, and the only thing that I created is I used a logo that had been used on our letterhead, and I added the Nelson Mandela quote, and I used a very simple program called PIC, P-I-C-K-N-I-K, Picnic, to design the logo. The other one that you can use, certainly, that I believe is better, is called PhotoFlexer. Both of those are websites, and I will put them in the link for this video to let you guys know, because you don't have to be a graphic designer or know one or pay one even to make a decent logo. So you'll see the nice thing is that this is actually a pre-built theme that I built off of, and it's got a nice big header, which you want, as you can see here. And it has all of our important info, the contact us, documents. Now, you may be wondering, okay, well, what do you mean by documents? Well, things you might want to add would be sort of your NGO constitution. If you have an annual report, that goes there. I'll show you real quickly. So we've got our proposal from Justin, my coworker, the community needs assessment, which I did, and our recent annual general meeting report for 2010. And what will happen is, say someone wants to read these. Great. Click on the link. It'll say you have chosen to open this document. Open it with whatever you have. If it's a Mac, doc, text files, anything that you have to open it with. You know, so you can choose, say, any of your utilities. I've got mine set up that I don't need to do this. I just go to save file. It's a Word document. I can save it on my computer and open it that way. So that's what I usually do. Now you'll notice over here something is drawing your eye. Oh, what's that? Oh, subscribe to our newsletter. Well, one of the things that you can do with WordPress, because it's considered a CMS or content management system, is that you can add little tools to help other people out, and these tools are called widgets. And one of them is basically a sign up so that people can subscribe to your blog. And the subscribe by email I recommend because people have RSS feeds. Not a lot of people will actually understand how to use an RSS feed that you're working with. So a lot of people prefer the sign up by email for things. So I basically went in and customized this, and instead of calling it a blog, I called it our newsletter, and so we said subscribe to our newsletter. You type in your email, sign me up, and you're signed up. Now, one of the great things that you'll see here is our work. If you just click on it, there's one page, and this is where I went with an overview of what we do. You'll see it says that we have 185 home-based carers, and we treated over 23,769 people in 2009, which is incredible in its own right, but people will miss it if you don't use bold text. So a little hint, I would like to do that. You want pictures. Pictures tell half the story. So our children are our future. We got a picture, we got text under it, we got more picture, we got a caption where it's from. And we just basically summarize our programs. And then at the end you'll see if you to learn more about how each program operates, select its name in the Our Work menu. Well, that's easy to do because we created a drop-down menu. So we have a drop in the center. I'm going to pull this up so that you all can see it a little bit better. the drop-in center, food security, home-based care, awareness, child-headed families program, our bereavement and psychosocial support, gender equality, Scouts and Cubs, and great groups, which are groups of self-help for older women and men. So if you click on either one of these, let's say awareness, it takes you directly to that section. And as you see, we're using the same layout. We've got a header, we've got some text, we got some pictures, and the great thing about WordPress is it allows you to edit these pictures, and you can put in any caption under it when you upload these pictures. It's a great, easy-to-use site. There's tons of tutorials out there if you get lost. And, you know, I would definitely recommend it. Our staff, same thing. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, but your staff page should at least have a picture of, and there's Jonah, the director, our deputy director, my colleague Justin, the project manager, Nola, our treasurer. And so just a little blurb about who they are. It gives a name to a face that when people come to your office, go, oh, I know you. You worked here. It's another way to sort of build, you know, and put a name to a face and build community. So the newsletter is the most important part here, really. That is basically a blog. And what I tell everyone is that, yes, WordPress' basic function is as a blog. So it was built for bloggers, but you don't have to use it for bloggers. You can basically tweak it and add it as much as you want to make it into your website. And this is something that I've found works great because it's a great layout. As you can see, it's pretty easy to read. You can go down and read it, and you can click on just about any of these headers, and you'll see they turn orangish color. If you click on that, you can get a full one. You can leave a comment at the end. So it encourages people to find out about what you're doing and then comment back on it. You want that. You want dialogue in the community, so this is a really good resource. A donate button. This was a big request of staff at the center when I suggested it, because often people know of your work, but they want to know how they can donate. And remember, there's many ways. Here we've got in-kind donation, as you call it. It's basically blankets and other thing for our winter warm program. And then we also got money from the Minister of Social Development for KZN, Mr. Radebe. At the very bottom, we've linked to our donate, which goes to My Global Giving, South Africa. As I said, there are many different ways of doing this. PayPal, Common Cause. There are many different outlets that you can use for donations. And you don't have to do anything fancy to create a button. You can simply, there are many button creation programs on Google. I cheated and found one, created a donate button, and then linked it easily. And I can show you how to do that in other ones. And so that is the Invodi Aid Center website. And this is built off of WordPress.com. And you see it's a pre-installed theme, 2010, blog at WordPress.com. Fonts on this blog. And I will use, what I used is basically a custom font, which you don't need to get into now. If someone wants to ask me how they did the custom font, send me a message, I'll be happy to tell you. So another thing I did is that I helped a friend via Weebly. Now Weebly is great if you're really intimidated by sites like WordPress, because it's very, very simple. You'll see I already put my stuff in. It says the easiest way to create a website, and I've got to tell you it really is. So here is, oops, it's edit because I haven't published it yet, but here's a very simple way of doing it. And this is your basic programming. It comes in. All your elements, you just drag and drop. Say you want a video, you pull it down and drag it onto where you wanted it. Drag and drop. You can change the design. You've got a ton of free themes. Or if you have the money, you can buy a whole bunch of themes under all themes. Pages, that's where you set up your page. Oh, you want a new page? Click Add a Page. You want to drag the page? You can drag it to wherever you want. You can hide it from navigation view if you're working on it, or password protect if you want a private page just for people at your organization to use. You can add editors in there to other people. And then your settings, you can add your site title, all that other things. Very, very simple, very easy. Again, what did I do? Well, I created an image, and I basically used, like I said, an existing logo, and then I put text over it, which I did immediately from the Edit Image menu. You can change this out with anything else. And I found this theme that was pre-installed. As you could say, it's pretty simple. It's not as complex as the other one, but it still looks pretty good. Same thing we have in About. We have our vision, what we do, partner organizations, newsletter, donate page, and contact us. Now this organization, Tekela Amajuba, is a much smaller organization than Mvodi in terms of programming. So they really didn't need anything talking about extensive programs. So they simply had their history, their mission and vision, what we do. Scroll down and see that there's pictures. If you can type, all these things are basically the same as using a text editor. And then we used a photo gallery widget, which is also up top in the multimedia section, and we basically use that to add all these pictures. So pictures are a really great way. Again, I said I cannot emphasize this enough. You want to tell your story, use pictures, use lots of them. Partner organizations. This is another one. Say you partner with another organization. In our case, we don't partner with a lot of organizations so much. However, Tekela Amajuba partners with a lot of organizations because they're small and they need extra support. So you simply find them, put links to these organizations where you can find them. Diaconia, Mercy Ships, and these become clickable once you publish them. Newsletter, like the same thing. I said you could call it a blog. I choose to call it a newsletter because that's basically what it is. You'll see there's not much going on because they're still working on the website, so it says the full website is coming soon. A donate page, again, if you would like to donate, and they are in the process of registering with a My Global Giving so that they can donate, as you saw on the other site. And then a simple contact form. You do not have to be a web expert or a genius to do any of this. You simply drag and drop and your website's built. I highly, highly recommend Weebly if you're really skittish about using the internet, or if you have a lot of people with very basic or no computer skills. If you can operate a computer at even a basic level, you can teach someone how to build a site with this. And yeah, you'll get the create a free website with Weebly until you pay for your own domain. But you can, like WordPress, you can assign your own domain name to it. You can buy one and then you can use it and go through Weebly. Or you can buy one directly from Weebly. That's the other thing. You can buy your own .com domain name and pay for that. I highly recommend you do that. You'll notice that we had MvodiAidCenter.org on the other one instead of Mvodi.wordpress.com. And that's really a lot more professional, and I recommend, you know, it'll be a little bit of money, but look around, try and find an organization that will do web hosting for fairly cheap. There's a lot in the States, and there's a lot in other countries now starting up. And, you know, make a commitment to, you know, paying and keeping your domain name up. As long as you have payments coming and you keep your domain name, it makes it really easy to maintain it. I'll find that people don't want to go to www.yourorganization.something else. They want to go straight to .org or .com. And I recommend using .org because that's the organization sort of subtitle that will let people know that you're an organization, versus .com, which is more business oriented or commercial. Now, another thing that people want to use that I recommend is Tumblr. Now, Tumblr is not great for creating necessarily a website. What Tumblr is Tumblr is a lot like using Twitter, except it's a lot more visual than Twitter, and unlike Twitter, unless you have enabled it, it does not allow feedback. But it's a really good way of getting your web presence out, and if you're getting bored with Twitter, I highly suggest using Tumblr because you can add pictures and other things. It has a huge following, and a lot of nonprofit organizations are on, as I'll show you. So I'm just going to log into Tumblr. It's very simple to sign up. It just takes your email, and they're over capacity. However, if I go to Google, I can show you basically Tumblr for nonprofits. So there are many nonprofits using Tumblr in the Tumblr directory. You'll see one that says the logo of the Expedition Balance, the Robin Hood of New York City, Metro Boston, Lighthouse Social Media, Curiosity Counts, Minute Post, Doctors Without Borders, and Medicine Sans Frontier both use Tumblr as a way of blogging to tell people what they're up to. If you want to, and it makes sense for your organization, I would definitely consider having both a website and having either a blog on your website or simply linking to a Tumblr account. It's fast growing, it's a really exciting platform, and it's always being worked on to make it better, so I would definitely consider that. The last thing that I would tell you to do is I'm going to go into WordPress itself just to show you something really neat. So this is the basic WordPress.com default one. I'm going to log in here. You'll see it shows all other blogs. I have a bunch of blogs, so I'm going to go to the invodi.wordpress.com. When you're logged in, this is what you'll see. You go to your dashboard, it will show you your posts, your categories. You'll go down to appearance. I want to show you these themes because a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if it does look good, it needs to look good. Well, WordPress has a lot of themes, as you can see. It starts with premium themes. Say you really need a professional theme, but the free themes are not doing it. A lot of the professional themes are all professionally designed. They are hyper editable because you've bought all the rights and contents to it, unlike the free themes, which are only editable to a certain amount. But for example, say you wanted a really good sleek theme. You'll see how it would work on your organization's website, and you see it changes everything. So you have beach, other things. You've got plenty of really good free ones. The monochrome is a really nice, slick looking. Paper Punch, Enterprise, Fusion. You have thousands and thousands of themes which you can use. And I'll tell you, I recommend all of them. I've used Pilcrow and I've used 2010, and both are great themes. I said, widgets. You want to say, well, how do you create all that stuff? Well, these widgets are essentially tools that you can just drag anywhere. Blog subscriptions, you'll see I drag that over. Text, I drag that over. Say I wanted a calendar of my site's posts. I would simply grab it and drag it over. Simple as that. And you'll see that you have up to 4 different widget areas to add anything you want. You can add as much as you want or as little as you want. I recommend somewhere in between. You definitely don't want too little, but you definitely don't want to overload your page with too many widgets because it just looks cluttered, it doesn't look great, and it'll turn people off. Now, some of the other things that I will say. Menus. Yes, you can create a custom menu anytime you want. You can save the menu, our work, you can select menu items, you can put custom links. So if you know a little bit about what you want and you've gotten really comfortable with WordPress, you can really play around with it a lot. You can do a background, you can put a background image in there. So, custom background, a lot of these free themes, if they have custom background as an option, you can really change the site up and make it yours. I like clean and white, but you don't have to. And the header theme, you said, well, okay, so you created it. How did you do that? Simple. Images is exactly 940, 198 will be used as is. So when you're designing, you want to know those parameters. There you go. You browse. There's a nice pic that I might use. Upload it. Or you can use random images and type over it. I don't recommend this much. It looks kind of amateur and it just doesn't look as good as doing your own. So like I said, I will put those two sites in the link on this, and you can look at them, and they're really easy to use. You don't have to know Photoshop. You don't have to be pretty handy or artistic to make it. Say you don't like the header, simply you remove it. You want a new header? Restore original header image. You can put anything on. Say oops, click that. Save changes, you're done. So I'll go back to the site. All of these sites are really easy to make. The question for you is based on your comfort level of using the computer and the internet, how big of a need you have for a website, how big your program is, and basically what does your organization really want to do and say with their website? What is the overall goal of having a website? If you can answer those questions, you're on a roll. And like I said, if you have any other questions to ask me specifically about the text I used or the layout or how to design this or more, you can certainly leave a comment on my page. I will be posting this video to jesseosmond.tk. Certainly leave me a comment or a comment on this video, and I will definitely answer and get back to you. Thanks, guys.